So in this video we'll upload this CSV file and update the data in this table, budget table. Okay, so we'll update this data over here into our database table. Okay, so if you are wondering this, this is from the notebook app. You can watch that videos. So for this video I defined these two routes, and also I created this controller, budget controller, and also budget model. So just create these thing, one budget controller, budget model, and the migrations. Okay, so you can download the code from GitHub and set these things up. So our database has these zip month. Okay, so whatever is here, okay, so whatever is here is our column in database. Okay, so we define that this id and timestamps by default, and this zip, okay, corresponding to this, also month, lodging, meal, housing. So generally this is the budget, okay, according to zip code, location. Okay, so for each month, so I've just reduced data to just 4 months. Okay, so these are the some costs. So let's jump into code. So let me open the budget controller. So first create the budget controller, and after you define the routes in the web.php, just open the budget. Okay, so you need one method to show form. Okay, so return view upload. So this upload view is already created, okay, in resource here inside views upload. Okay, so this is the view to populate the form, like so. So this is generally simple form. Okay, so the action is it will post this data to upload URL, okay, which we already defined here. It will go to store method inside budget. Okay, so all the logic we are going to write inside this. Okay, so main thing is this method. So this is just setup. So this is just simple form which is posting data to upload. So this is all about setup. So now let's jump into code. So define a method called store. Okay, so inside this method first, so let me write some pseudocode. So first we'll we'll get the file. Okay, we'll get that CSV file. We'll read that file. We'll validate. Okay, so we'll validate for example, so this is just capital case. Okay, but in our database these are lowercase. Okay, so we have to validate that data. Also there might be some $sign, or we have to escape these $signs. Okay, so that is the validation part. In order to get file, so I will define the upload, okay, file, and name of file. So what is the key? So you have to type this name, okay, upload file. So now we are getting the file, okay, that CSV file which we uploaded from, which we will upload it from here. Okay, so inside this data, okay, this file. So now we got the file, and we need the file path in order for PHP to read it. So we'll define the file path. Okay, so upload, we'll call method called get real path. So it will get the real path of that file in my computer. Okay, so now we'll open it and read. Okay, so open and read. So we have the PHP function called fopen. Okay, so it will take the file path. Okay, file path, and mode will be R. So R is for read mode. Okay, so you can read, write. So we'll validate in a moment. So first get the header, so this header, so that we can construct the array of this with this key and the value. So there is, so just get header. So there is a function called fcat CSV. Okay, so what this will do is this will just read the CSV file. So we have to supply the file here, which we have already opened. So now this will read the file. So you can test this by dumping this header. Refresh that, and we'll use that file and we'll upload that. So this is giving us header in this format. Okay, but we want this to be as a key and this to be value. Okay, so we'll do that. Now that we are getting the header, next we need to escape that for any so these are uppercase, we need to make that lowercase. So now here comes the validation part. So we'll validate the header first. So for that we have to loop through these each that data array. Okay, array item. So now let's do that. So for each, so variable will be header. So we'll first escape for any special character. Okay, so escape item, so we'll escape each item. So we'll assign, so we'll use prac replace. Okay, so pattern will be this. Okay, so let me explain first. Let me type. Okay, A to Z. So this is the pattern, and we'll replace that with empty string. So lower case header. So let me just skip L header. So L header means lowercase header. Okay, so first we need to make this lowercase. Okay, so str to lower is the function that will make this header lowercase. So doing this is fine. Okay, so in some case we might have some special character here. Okay, underscores, and we need to escape that. So if you don't want to validate for them, string to replace will do fine. Okay, string to lower will do fine. So we are going further, we'll replace the special characters there. So this subject will be this L header. Okay, so generally what we are doing is we are making this lowercase header. Okay, and we are replacing all the character except lowercase a to z. Okay, so this is the regex for that. So this means except a to z, lowercase a to z. Okay, so it will replace all the characters except lowercase a to z with empty string. Okay, so which one? This lower header, in lower header. Okay, so we can test that item here, escaped item. Okay, so let's test this, save this and go to, and there is uppercase. And now if I reload that, okay, what's the problem? So here's the problem. Okay, so it expects to be string, but we are passing the array here. Okay, so the string will be value, remember, so value will be that zip. Okay, so that is the value here, so this one value. Okay, so now that should do work. Reload that and let's see. Yeah, so it is returning zip lowercase. Okay, so we are dying and dumping for first value, so it is doing so. Okay, so it is escaping the character. So if I supply here underscores, it will escape for that also. So I will save that and reload. It will again show zip. Okay, so now it's working. Okay, so next, so now we'll just open that. So this contains the item. So now we need to push this item to this escaped header variable array. Okay, so we need to define other array. Okay, so let's define that. So escaped header, so this will be the array like this. So now we'll push each escaped item to this header array. Okay, so we'll use array push. Okay, so name of array will be escaped header, and the variable we want to push is escaped item. So each item we want to push to that array. Alright, so that should do the work. So we can check that dying and dumping this escaped header like so. So let's check that. Yeah, so now we are getting that array with escaped item. So next we need to get data. Okay, so this is for header part, so now next for looping through each other columns to get the data. Okay, so looping. So in this case I'm using the while loop to loop through. So while we assign columns, so I'm using this variable columns. So same thing, get CSV, and name of file will be file, the same as before. So here, so what this will do is as we have already done this, okay, we pull the header out of this. Now this columns contain all the data except this header one. Okay, so that is what get CSV do. It will just read that and take that out. Okay, so now remaining one is this. Okay, so now first we'll check for if columns. So you can die and dump that column there and check. Okay, so I'll leave that for you. If you don't understand, you can do that. Okay, so if first column is empty, okay, if first column is empty, we'll continue the loop. We'll not process further, and we'll move to next loop. Okay, so if the first column or the first one is empty like so, okay, if that zip is empty, we will not store that into our database. Okay, so that is the validation. So now we'll trim other data also. Okay, for example, we have to trim the $sign. Okay, so trim. Okay, so here also I'll use same as this previous one. Okay, so for each, so in this case variable will be columns break replace. So in this case because we have the number data, okay, so this decimal, what I will do is I will just escape. So what this will do is this will escape all the characters except the numbers. Okay, so we'll escape all other value except numbers with empty string and for value. Okay, so yeah, so you can just now what this will do is this will get the value. Okay, so that to the same, so it will replace this value with this, and you can do same as array push. Okay, same as previous, but in this case I don't want to do that, so I want to replace that value with the escaped value. Okay, so there is we can use the pointer, you can do that. So what this will do is this will replace this value with this one. Okay, you don't need to do array push. Okay, so now we get that. Okay, so if you don't understand this, you can search for that. Okay, so it will just replace the original value. Okay, next we'll construct the array. So now we are getting the data. Okay, you can write down value here. Yeah, so we are getting this data. Okay, escape data. So now I want to combine this array. Okay, so this data array combine. So I will combine the header, escaped header, with this value. Okay, so each value I will just combine the respective data with the header. So escaped header. Okay, so yeah, here with this value here. So inside the while loop, next we'll loop through each data and set type as integer and float. Okay, so here same thing for each. We'll go through each data, okay, as key and value. So here also I will change the original value. So next, so I will assign to value. So if key equals to zip, in that case, if key equals to zip or key equals to month. So if key equals to zip here, okay, so as you already know, data contains that key value pair, and if that key is zip or month, in that case what we want to do is we want to make that value to integer. Okay, so in other case we want to make them float. Here also value. Okay, so this is the setting the right data type. Okay, so setting type. Okay, because our this contains integer here, these column are integer, decimal, float. Okay, so what data we are getting from here might not be that in that format, so we are making that type. Next, now we'll update the table. So database power, so table update. Okay, so now our all validation part is finished, so we'll update the table. So if you are confused what this data is, okay, just write down that and watch. So next what we'll do is we'll first let's get the value. Zip will be inside data zip. Similarly I will duplicate them. Similarly get the month. Okay, similarly for lodging. So make sure this key housing, meal, lodging, month, budget. So first we need to find the budget which we want to update. So budget. Okay, so you need to use that budget here. Okay, like so. So if you install that PHP companion plugin, okay, you can hit F5, okay, to populate that. I think F5 is the shortcut for that. So now here we'll use a new Laravel method. Okay, first or new. Okay, so what this will do is this will first let me complete this zip. So what we are generally doing is we are finding the data with these two value. Okay, if zip and month. Okay, so zip is common for both many cases. Okay, like here, yeah, zip is same, but we find the particular data using zip and month combination. Okay, so where's that? Yeah, so we are finding the data. Okay, budget. So what first or new will do is if data is already present, it will get us that data. Okay, so that we can update or do whatever. If that data is not present there, it will instantiate the new instance so that we can save that. Okay, so it will just equivalent of doing new budget. Okay, so if data is not present, it will do new budget, it will instantiate new object. Okay, so that we can save. So let me do, you'll understand in a moment. So now we'll insert the data budget, lodging. Okay, lodging, similarly for meal and housing. Okay, so meal and housing. Okay, so now we are inserting this data in our database in corresponding fields. Next we'll save that. So save. Okay, so we are saving data. So now that should save the data. So this is all what we need to do. So make sure you created that budget model. So let me go to budget model. Okay, so just ignore this for a moment. So this is the budget model. Okay, here, so you need to fillable these thing. Okay, just okay, so now that should okay. The problem is here, I'm just passing the value, it expects the array. Okay, so we are combining array, not so the array is columns. Okay, so columns, so that should fix the problem. Let's see. Yeah, so now that should upload here. So yeah, now you can see more data. Okay, so yeah, you can test that and you can redirect somewhere here. Okay, if that is successful, you can test for you can play around. Okay, validator. So I'm posting the code in GitHub. Okay, you can check there. So this is generally what you do to upload any CSV file inside your database. Okay, so I'll see you in next video. Bye.